Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley, and today we've got a review from last week. Now, I'm splitting up all my high school coverage now, so there will be 3 videos a week. Today is the review. It should have been up yesterday. I apologize for that. And then later on tonight, 5 or 6, we will have 8-man Class 1, 2, and 3 predictions. Thursday, Class 4, 5, and 6. Yesterday, pretty busy day. I think it was pretty busy for everybody. Voting. I had an interview, and then I had work at Learfield. So, I didn't really get around to it. So I apologize, but here it is. I'm giving the video to y'all now. That interview, wide receiver coach for Rockbridge, Coach Chris Staley. No relation, by the way, but same last name. But that will be up on Friday. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get to this week. 8-man scoreboard from this past Friday. We'll start with Worth County. They defeated Stanberry 60-0. Great win for them. Stanberry ends the season with 1 win. St. Paul Lutheran, they lose at home to Sweet Springs. Sweet Springs forces 2 defensive interceptions off of St. Paul. Rich Hill, they beat Oshella. Carter Bell, 124 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 receptions, and 8 tackles. Knox County, they defeat Princeton 52-6. Cooper Clare, he had 119 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 128 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. 7 total touchdowns in that win. Mound City, they lose at home to Tarkio. I guess they actually go by East Atchison, so sorry about that. Owen D. Rozier for, I'm going to say Tarkio because that's what they have on Misha. He had 183 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 receptions, 31 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown, and 6 tackles over on defense. So this guy, in this game that I'm about to say, he has inspired me to start the Missouri Sports Talk Player of the Week. So, our Missouri Sports Talk Player of the Week, he plays for North Andrew. The Cardinals, they get it done at home 54-6 over South Holt. Braxton Linville, he has 1 passing touchdown, 354 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 6 tackles, and 2 sacks over on defense. That is an insane stat line. He is basically the team. So, great game by Braxton, and North Andrew advances. Class 1 scoreboard, Louisiana, they get their first win of the season. Congratulations to them. They get it done 46-3 over Veritas Christian, a new school. This is their first varsity season. Another one with their first varsity season, Lynn. They end up going out as well. They had 1 win. Crestridge gets this one done 35-0 over him. Crestridge, they held Lynn to 57 total yards. Bad day for the Wildcats. Maysville, they get their first win of the season over Gallatin 27-20 on Thursday night. Miller, they beat Kabul. Kabul could not get their only win of the season. They end up going out winless. Unfortunately, 0-10 for Kabul. They lose 61-0 at home in this game. Awful, awful, awful. Trenton Pierce, 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception. A good day by Pierce. They didn't have any offensive statistics, so Pierce is ending up being the player of the game. I don't know, because they had 61 points, so I've got a feeling their quarterback or running back popped off, but I don't have their stats. So Trenton Pierce will get the player of the game. Russellville, they lose at home to Cole Camp. Cole Camp gets their first win of the season. Congratulations to them. 30-22 is the final score there. I believe Russellville ended their season 3-7. And Lincoln and Skyline, this was my Class 1 game of the week. It ended up being pretty similar to what I said it would. It ended up being 56-34. Lincoln gets that one done at home. Class 2 scoreboard. Butler, they get it done on the road over Sherwood. I 100% called that one. 42-6 is your final. I definitely didn't say that they win by that much, though. Thayer, they get it done over Clever, 37-7. Great win for them. I did take Scott City. Scott City beat East Prairie in Week 1, 22-0. They ended up losing this one, the more important game, 49-29. Ava, they lose at home to Houston. I had Ava winning 2 games in the playoffs, so I had them losing in the district championship. They are one of 2 teams in total that I had going to the district championship that lost. So I also lost Kirksville. We will get to that. But I haven't lost any district champions yet. So hopefully I don't lose more than like 3 or 4 this week. But, Houston gets it done, 40-32 on the road. Jordan Arthur, 120 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 receptions, and 7 tackles. Great game by him. Centralia, they make quick work of Carrollton, 44-6. Great win for Centralia. They're rolling, but they got to play Father Tolton this week. I will give you my prediction there, but that's going to be a really entertaining game. But that one will be tough. It will be very tough. North Callaway and South Callaway. I was at this game. This is fun. Colin Moore popped off 3 touchdowns, 4 total. I think he had 3 on the ground and 1 receiving touchdown. But it wasn't enough for North Callaway. They lose 32-42 at home in the Callaway Cup. They won in week 1, 20-8. And, like I said with East Prairie and Scott City, same thing here. They lose the more important one, that is the playoff game. So, Graydon Pontius, if I said that correctly. I'm sorry if I did not. He was their quarterback, 60 passing yards, 208 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 14 tackles for South Callaway. This was a fun game. It was really entertaining. It got a little bit chilly. That's okay, though. I signed up for that. I did wish that North Callaway would win that game. I think they're going to come back way better next year as well, though. They've got a really strong sophomore class, so maybe even in 2 years, that may be their peak. So lots to come for the Thunderbirds. Class 3 scoreboard, Live for Life, they make it look easy, 52-0 over Lutheran South. Southern Boone, they barely beat California. Ugly win by 13 over a 3-7 football team. Summit Christian Academy, they kept this one a little too close as well. 21-12 over University Academy. They probably should have won by a little bit more than that. Cuba, they lose to St. James. It sucks. I was hoping that Cuba and Mike Volner could get that one done. St. James wins on the road 33-26. Cuba, they end up getting 4 wins this season. The past 3 before that, they had like 1. So a little culture shift in Cuba. I'm happy to see that, and congratulations to them on a solid season. Cassville, they lose at home to East Newton. Cassville has had East Newton's number these past 14 years. I think this is East Newton's 3rd win against Cassville since 2010. So I took East Newton to win this one, and I had a few guys in the TikTok comments East Newton not winning. I was like, okay, we'll see. And East Newton ends up winning 39-28. River Inlow, 112 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 receptions, and 5 tackles. I believe he is a junior. Great game by him. Knob Noster versus Eldon really held up as my Class 3 game of the week. Knob Noster wins this game 33-31. Very close game. Now, Knob Noster will be playing Boonville this Friday. Levi Bolton, 9 tackles, one of them being a tackle for loss, and 1 sack. Great game for Knob Noster. Class 4 scoreboard, Perryville gets it done over Windsor Imperial, 26-8. Hannibal, they blow out Holt. Holt had a really bad season, if we're going to be honest. They played some tough competition, but, this one just really didn't go how they wanted it to. They lose to Hannibal to end the season 50-14. Nevada, they get it done against Raytown South 42-12. This is a good win for the Tigers. Osage, a blowout over Fort Zumwalt South 50-16. This is a really great win. Osage is rolling this year. If I'm not wrong, they're 8-2 now. They lost to Blair Oaks and they lost to St. Francis Borgia. And I got to watch South. They actually lost that game pretty badly against Liberty Winsville when I went there. But they're a solid team. And, Osage shut them down. They play Warrenton this week. So if you guys did not watch my full bracket predictions, I have Warrenton making it to the state championship and losing. So, Osage plays my predicted runner-up in Class 4 this week. So we'll see how it goes. Westminster versus St. Charles. I was at this game. I had a lot of fun. This was a really entertaining game. It was close at halftime, 14-6. St. Charles' offense got shut down. Jordan Rowe, their star guy, really elusive. He's an improviser at QB. He made some really good plays, but they just couldn't put any points up on the board. But it was 14-6 going into halftime. You're kind of, wondering how this game's going to go. I actually took Westminster by 8. They were up 8 going into halftime, so I was pretty content with it. But then fourth quarter, St. Charles, they're down. I want to say it was like 21-6 or something like that, somewhere around that. No, it was 17-6. So then it was like, I want to say it was either 24-6. It was 24-6, not 21-6. It's 24-6, and St. Charles just starts to panic. So they go for this fake punt. They pass it to Jordan Rowe, and it was not a good play. So then automatically Westminster's already in the red zone, and then there's another pick six, and just a lot of turnovers, and the season just kind of fell apart for St. Charles there, especially at the end of the game. So Westminster, they're looking good. They play Orchard Farm this week. Last season, they beat Orchard Farm in the district championship. So we'll see how this one goes. I do have Orchard Farm winning, and I think I'll talk about it a little bit more later on this week. That will be, I guess, tomorrow, actually. But I'll give you an actual point total on that one. That should be an interesting game, though. And the Class 4 game of the week. This one also stood tall as the game of the week. Kirksville versus Mexico. I think you guys know how much I do not like Mexico. They ended up winning this game. They upset Kirksville. Kirksville into the season 9-1. This is their one loss. They went undefeated in the regular season. And, I had some comments in the YouTube video. I can't remember who it was, but they're saying that Kirksville left a lot of points on the board. So shout out to the person that was telling me that. Mexico get this one done. Hunter Cuno, if I'm saying his last name correctly, maybe Cuno. 120 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 3 tackles, and a TFL. So Hunter played great. Mexico, surprisingly, gets this one done. They play Hannibal. I know they just beat 9-0 Kirksville, but I don't think they get past Hannibal, if we're going to be honest. Class 5 scoreboard. We'll start with Farmington and Poplar Bluff. The Mules, they get it done 56-21. I actually took Farmington in that game. Rockwood Summit, they defeated Parkway South 47-9. That was kind of what everybody should have been expecting, if we're going to be honest. Grain Valley, they defeat Ruskin 49-7. Kind of inverted there. So Rockwood Summit had 47, and the other team had 9. Grain Valley had 49, the other team had 7. So that's kind of fun there. Washington, they defeated Parkway West 35-25. In all honesty, that kind of ends up being the Class 5 game of the week, if we're going to be honest. I believe I took Washington winning that game, and they got it done. I'm blanking on who they played this week. My game that I actually said was the Class 5 game of the week was Rolla hosting Cannington. I almost went to this game. Decided to go to the Callaway Cup. I think it was a good decision because Camdenton won on the road 49-20. So, that's a great win for the Lakers, but they play Elias this Friday. That's going to be a tough game. And my only stats I have left for this one, Neo Show, they defeat Raytown 42-6. Denver Welch, I like that name, 153 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 38 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. Good win for Neosho. Class 6 scoreboard, Pattonville. They defeated Hazelwood West 56-18. So I messed up. I actually, on my brackets, I took Pattonville, but then I kind of forgot, if we're going to be honest. This wasn't a fun game, so it's like, I didn't really care a whole lot. So then I kind of forgot what I said. So then I took Hazelwood West in the video. So, whoopsies. I accidentally took both of them to win on 2 different things. So my bad. Pattonville, they win. They help the bracket, but then I got it wrong in the video. So it is what it is there. Lindbergh, they win 35-0 over Fox. That was our Class 6 game of the week. Not sure that really stood tall, but then at the same time, there weren't many insane games in Class 6. Oakville, they defeat Northwest 28-7. That's a good win for them. Park Hill South and Staley, both these teams are really struggling this year. Park Hill South ends up getting it done 13-12. That's a solid win for them. Francis Howell Central, They go to Hickman. They were in Columbia. They get it done 42-35. Apparently, Hickman had been playing from behind. They made it a game, almost came back, but the comeback fell short, and Central gets it done. Marquette and Vianney. I guess that ended up being the Class 6 game of the week. The Mustangs win this game 23-20. I think the Vianney quarterback, Sam Dean, he launched a few interceptions. Marquette's got a solid defense. They do. So there's nothing on him. He had a great season. But, Marquette, they've struggled this year. They're 5-5 now. I don't know if they make it past this week, but, they have been way better than that this past few years. But something happened this year. So I don't really know what happened there, but we've got 8-man Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 predictions tonight around 5 or 6 o'clock, so stay tuned. This has been Missouri Sports Talk. See you next time.